momentum coming off their year last year, and a lot of positive stuff going on. Big op for them to come back home, opening game and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a real challenge environment, which is great. We need to get in those situations and see how to handle the noise and how to handle just the ruckus of it all. So it's a really good matchup for us coming up. We need hard ones, we need tough ones, and so here they come. It's a good balanced football team. The way they play and their style, Coach Campbell's done a great job getting these guys rolling, and they got a really good format to them. So we're getting our game tuned in, and we've got to get ready to play a really good football game for 4 quarters. We looked last week. First half was one way, and second half was another way, and so we have to finish better than we did. So that's what's at hand.
How are your tackles doing?
They're both hurting, and. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. You'll see us be a little bit active. We've already worked to get Jason Peters in here, and which is a remarkable thing in itself, going into his 20th season. So you'll see us. We're going to respond to how they wind up doing this week.
Can you say yet how realistic it is? I mean, how soon Peters could help you? Or?
No, we just had a walkthrough. Let's see. We got to see how he is, and it should. You would think you give him a couple of weeks to get ready to go. I don't know if we can afford to do that. We'll see what happens here as we get one day at a time here and work with him. He's a really interesting guy, and we're lucky to have a guy like this come to us at a time like this.
At this point, do you expect either Charles or Abe to be able to?
I think it's going to be hard for him. It's going to be a challenge for him.
There was a report that you're signing Raekwon O'Neal off Tampa Bay's practice squad. Is that?
Yeah, he's on his way. He's on his way.
What were your first impressions of what close to game shape Jason Peters might be after?
I can't tell you that. I don't know. He looks great. He looks like he's ready to go. But that's he's got to go out there and work and get moving and all that.
It's not obviously like a kicker at 41. The left tackle at 41, is that?
He's such a remarkable player. I mean, look at his film from last year. You can't tell how old he is. He played really well and played a couple different spots and showed flexibility there. He's a long-term left tackle, but the flexibility is there, and his feet were beautiful, Okay, he saw about a handful of plays out here. He looked pretty darn good today. I mean, just tell you, he looked quick and light on his feet.
Stone and Jake, I mean, if they have to play or start, I mean, kind of having the week, would that help? Obviously, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Both guys got thrown in, late in the game, but they both know our system really well, and they'll work better when they put a whole week behind them, knowing that they're out there and communicating and all that will be better.
With that Lions offense, what do they do that makes it so challenging?
Well, the quarterback's really good. Jared's really good. He's really, obviously as efficient as you can be right now with the streak he's got rolling, and he's got all the throws. It's a good, intricate system. They do a lot of different things, and they're good at it. Timing is really good. He works well with the offensive line. He does get the ball out of his hands. He's not a runner, not going to run around much, but so they rely on a real quick rhythm to get the thing, going. He's got really nice receivers. So St. Brown's really a good player, and they feature the heck out of him as they found him, a little bit ago, and realized he's a great player, and he really is. He's a great producer. So he's got a real sharp target to go to all the time, but his other guys are good too.
You guys had a kind of a wild game against them last year, a shootout back there. What do you see from that offense, their ability to be explosive, Amon-Ra being a part of that, and what they've done now that Jared's yet another year into what they're doing offensively?
Yeah, they looked sharp, in the opener too, against a really a real random attack that Casey had ready in the opener. They threw all kinds of stuff at him, and they handled it pretty well. They have good balance, and they want to run the football, yet they'll, their play action game is complements well, and they still have a good drop back scheme. It's one that is really solid in the league right now. The principles and the concepts are, we see them week in and week out, so they're really good and solid, and he's in command of all of it. He gets the ball out of his hands really well too in the play pass game, which has always been, even back to his Ram days, it was always been a feature of him. And so you've got to be on your stuff, and we always have to play the running game first to not let them do that. And but that doesn't mean you got these guys. He's got enough throws in him and enough accurate decision making and all of that he can get you. So he's playing like a really well-equipped veteran quarterback. He's got all the stuff right now. So it's nice. We've seen him through his whole career. It's a nice ascent for him.
What does Montgomery and Gibbs in the running game add that maybe? they
Montgomery's
didn't
really
have before?
tough. He's really a physical, aggressive guy. He's always been that way, and they look like they're leaning on him first. And he's going to give you everything he's got. Gibbs looked really special. Like we saw him in the draft. We thought he was a fantastic potential athlete and guy to do a lot of things. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run all the stuff. So they used him a handful of plays this last week. Maybe we see him a little bit more. I'm sure that they could see it too. He's really special. So that's a good 1-2 punch for them.
How different does their defense look from what you guys saw last year?
They're a little different. They've adjusted some of their focus on some stuff on the back end. They got new guys back there. Still got the good dudes up front that kind of give them a special push. But they have adjusted coverage-wise some of the things that they're featuring.
You mentioned that crowd noise earlier. Do you have to do anything differently when you're preparing to play in a dome or a loud stadium?
Yeah,
this?
we're cranking it. The whole time. You have to operate in silent count. I've been there a lot over the years, and it's because it's the dome effect, man. It's legit, So, Gino is well experienced at it and all that, but we got to make sure everybody's tuned in because we got to not let that be a factor.
And then O'Neal, is he more right side, left side? Raekwon O'Neal.
He's played around some different spots, but even a little center, as they've prepped him at Tampa. But we see him as a tackle, and left tackle is where he looks most at home.
Hutchinson in particular, just kind of what's the challenge with him?
He's a fantastic effort guy. Amy just totally gives it up, run and pass, and he's really on the attack at all times. And so if you slip at all, you take a false step, he's going to be in the backfield and be causing problems. They're moving him around a little bit. He plays on both sides some in their schemes, and he played inside last week some. So they're just trying to find more ways to make him a factor, and he is that. So he's a good player.
Pete, first road game, I know you went to Green Bay, so how much do you take that to prepare the team to go on the road?
Say the start of the question, please.
Your first road game of the season.
Yeah.
And yet you played, obviously you had the preseason in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Just the messaging around that and how you prepare that.
Yeah, this is the legit deal. We're leaving on Friday. We'll get our 2-day process going. We really talked all about the Packer game in preparation for this game. The time frames and how things work and all of that. The sleep issues and all that kind of stuff. So we're on it, but it's still the first official time with the smaller group, and also, but there's principles to it, and how you focus and how you prepare and all that, and how we work together and hang together, when it's going to be 70-something thousand against the rest of us. So all of those elements are the same. So we've at least we've got one under our belt.
Have you gotten to know Dan Campbell much?
No, really admire the way he works. So he's got a great heart, and you can see that in his fire that he brings. It's legit, and I love to see that his team's got a style. I always like seeing that from guys, and his team has a definite style about him, and it's real credit to him.
The plan still to get Jamal Adams out there today?
He's practicing today. Witherspoon practicing today, going full go, and so this is it's an important day for those guys. Important day for us to get those guys back out. We'll be careful with Jamal's reps. It's the first time on the field, but we'll get him out there, and he'll work a little service team today and all that, and start his way back.
Maybe you want to see Witherspoon this week just to know he's ready to go.
I'd like to make it through the week, have a good practice today, and then we'll go to the next day and see how it goes. But I would love him to be comfortable, on game day, and this is his first chance, so this is his opener, legit opener, and so excited to see him. He's got such a great spirit that he adds to our club. I can't wait for him to be contributing on the field, so they can feel him and the players can play off him, because he's got a real way about him.
How did your pass rush guys respond after they watched the film and kind of assessed?
Yeah, frustrated. Yeah, we need to be more pointed on some of the stuff we were trying to do. We didn't get the game plan carried out the way we would like it as well as we wanted to, and communication is always part of that. And first time out where they really got a lot of plays, we weren't as clean as we could be, and we will be. We'll get better. Jay Reed does a lot of that work, and runs the show up there, and so it's just getting together with him in game situations and responding well. He's really good at it. His experience shows all the time. We need to play off of him and get benefit out of him.
Communication, you mean like Jay Reed to the other guys pre-snap?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's the psyche of your team, some of the younger players who may have been?
They're looking at the older guys, I think, and so we start with me and then work my way through the staff. We've got to be the attitude first and make sure that we demand it of everybody and we get everybody on board. We've got a way that we practice on this day in particular that is designed to jump back regardless of what happened on the weekend before, and so we'll see what happens. Challenge them today.
What are you emphasizing this week?
Right now, we're emphasizing getting back to basics and the fundamentals that we do on Wednesday's practice. We're competing today.
Gino said he thought effort was kind of an issue, or I mean, he said the Rams played harder. I mean, did you see that or sense that?
I felt like at the end of the game we didn't play very well on offense. I thought we got in trouble a little bit. Defensively, I pointed out how hard we played at the end of the game. So it wasn't like a conditioning issue. We got a little distracted. Things didn't go very well. We need to find our rhythm better on offense.
Pete, what did you think of Jackson's first game last week, and how much better is he going to be another
He
week?
was comfortable with it. It was not too big for him at all. Imagine, this is 3 weeks or something from his surgery or whatever it was, and it didn't even flinch. So he's ready to go. Didn't get as many balls as we like, and he had one that he maybe could have handled, better. A little throw that was behind him a bit, but other than that, he was in the game and ready to go, and he's going to be a factor. We just got to get him used to being out there and us used to throwing it to him.
Outside of Charles and Abe, is everyone else okay coming out of the game?
Everybody else should be in pretty good shape. There's one guys I got really on the list here to go to.
And going back to the pass rush a little bit, what specific problem does Detroit's talented O-line present in that
They're a
regard?
good, solid group. They're a good, solid group, and they mix their protections well. They'll use different guys, on the edges of the protections, and so we have to be really astute and take advantage of the looks and make sure that we can maximize with the one-on-one opportunities that you get. And that's where I'm talking about. Jay Reed, comes in and he knows how to read it and make the calls, and he has the game plan. So. Put quite a bit of responsibility on him in that on the field. So we need to take advantage of our ops, and that means when you get the one-on-ones, we got to be effective and be a factor, and we didn't get that done.
In terms of not being sacked, what role has Goff played in keeping himself clean in that
Say it
regard?
again,
In terms of just not getting sacked, Goff doesn't take a bunch of them. They only got sacked once against KC.
Yeah, the ball's out, and he's really smart. You can't fool him. He knows where the ball should go. His reads are excellent, and so he's maximizing the calls that he has. He's not random in anything. Everything's very guided and very, very governed well, and so and he didn't want to get hit either. He's had some issues over the years about when he gets banged around. So he knows to get the ball out. He's really smart about it.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.